Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Coffee Talk TBSC. I do want to apologize for my tardiness. Unfortunately, I was having a little bit of technical difficulties with loading the slide deck, but we're here now. And today we're going to be discussing NCE renewals and what to do. So if you are currently a TBSC partner, this might be a beneficial kind of tutorial to let you know what's going on with NCEs, but we will kind of dive into the benefits and features of the NCE renewal for our partners as well as their end user clients. As you can tell, my laptop is really taking a long time to load, so I'm not sure if we'll even be able to look at the slide deck properly, but just bear with me while we get through today's session. So what exactly is an NCE? Well, the new commerce experience is the NCE, and it's a per seat model for Microsoft 365. It's basically just a different version of like the cloud service provider model for providing Microsoft 365 licenses to your end user clients. So rather than doing a month-to-month subscription like the CSP model, this is like a 3-year long contract, 1 year long, however long the contract is. It kind of establishes a contract that should be followed throughout whatever year it's signed for. And what's nice about this is it's all through e-commerce, so you can buy and sell all of this online. What we have noticed is that they first rolled out NCE last January, so those customers who are signed up for a year-long contract are up for renewal here. So what you're going to see in January 2023 is probably an influx of renewals that should be made. Moving on to benefits of the NCE for our resellers, our partners, our managed service providers or cloud service providers, etc. The benefits of NCE shows that it's easier to manage your clients. Rather than flexing your subscribers up and down month per month and doing the cloud model, this kind of helps establish, okay, well, here's the threshold, and let's ensure we don't, go over the threshold. Let's ensure that we help our customers use what they're currently paying for and optimize and get a proper return on their investment. So from what we can tell, it's definitely easier to manage your clients because this kind of turns into a managed service. Not only are you helping provide them with their Microsoft licenses, but you're giving them an avenue to kind of track and monitor their usage. This helps ensure that you can gain new clients as well as retain those clients, particularly when it comes to NCE renewals. If their contract lapses, that could put them at risk for paying more to renew or restart a different contract. So it's a good way for you to get new customers, kind of promoting the fact that the NCE is here to stay. And these are the value-added services that you can add on to your Microsoft 365 license services that you already have. So here's some benefits to your customer. And of course, the first and foremost main benefit is it allows them access to the Microsoft 365 suite. A lot of businesses definitely use Microsoft, whether that's Word, Excel, Teams, what have you. This ensures that business operates smoothly with all the proper communications tools that they could possibly need through the Microsoft 365 suite. So that's a major benefit. Of course, whenever they are on the NCE and ensure they have the proper licenses, it allows for them to have the latest software updates. And what's great is, these things are in the cloud, so it's a transition from on-premise to the cloud. And with remote work, we've definitely been seeing a lot more cloud applications. And so you don't have to constantly click the install button or download button because everything is accessible through the cloud. These software updates happen automatically and makes it very user-friendly. With the NCE, your clients also get technical support with Microsoft. Now, perhaps they might not use this. Perhaps you have technical support on your team that can certainly help them. But either way, whenever they sign this contract, essentially it provides technical support opportunities for your clients. As I mentioned earlier, it helps save money, particularly with renewals, because when you renew the same license contract, it's definitely a lot cheaper than completely starting on a new contract. So they can save money that way. And I can show other ways how they can save money using TBSC's tool, Smarter SaaS. And then, of course, the benefits are rested within what you can provide to your customer through the managed service. You can promote it in ways like NCE is complex, ensure that you have a smooth and safe renewal with us, and then, of course, offer the managed service of we'll track and monitor your license usage over this next year to ensure things like security, where you're in compliance with your contract and return on investment, etc. So this is all like the same stuff we've probably talked about before. I mean, this is the bread and butter of our business, is ensuring that customers have a quick, efficient, and cost-effective software asset management, particularly with Microsoft 365. So none of this is really new. However, the new thing is the new commerce experience, or the NCE. As I said, it's only been here for about a year now, and some businesses are still on the cloud model, so they're paying month to month, but that's at a 20% premium at the moment. So maybe businesses are looking to switch that entirely. So this kind of gives you an edge to your marketing and sales coming into the new year. Now that you know the NCE contracts are up for renewal for particular clients, and customers are now officially going to be signed on to the NCE moving forward, this can really help with your strategy on providing a managed service to your clients. So let's just talk a little bit about the contract details that clients face whenever they're signing their NCE. Of course, important thing is expiration dates. So say, for instance, a customer comes to you as a reseller and they're just like, please help us manage our licenses. I would say the first thing to always check is the expiration date, of course. You kind of need to know that to ensure that it doesn't go out of expiration. There's no lapse in kind of having coverage for the licenses, ensure the compliance, etc. So once you get in contact with a client who's interested in NCE and they either have a contract or are looking to get a contract, expiration dates is a huge understanding that you just need to narrow down and figure out where exactly they're at. As I mentioned earlier, renewing contracts is happening January 2023 onwards because it was originally implemented last January. The NCE contracts typically have a term of 1 to 3 years. I mean, it's a typical terms, but this might, give or take depending on the contract. I would say just keep your eyes peeled along with the expiration date. And of course, if you don't renew the contract before it expires, your clients lose access to the pricing, and they may have to pay full price for Microsoft networking and communications products. And cost savings is a pretty big deal at the moment, especially with the cost of living crisis, et cetera. Businesses, we can't really afford to be overspending in areas that completely could be avoided. So moving on, let's just go ahead and talk about how can you encourage your clients to renew their contracts with you. So I'm just giving an example of MSPs. So as a managed service provider, you are a managing expert of supporting Microsoft 365 environments. I know some of our partners are familiar with other Microsoft tools and not so much with 365, but either way, with the Smarter SaaS, which I'll go into detail about in the future slides, is that Smarter SaaS can really help benchmark exactly where your clients are at, and we can certainly help you get familiar with the Microsoft 365 environment through our sales training course. So as an MSP, you have access to teams of professionals who can help troubleshoot any issues, answer questions, and provide guidance on how to best use Microsoft's productivity tools. And of course, say, for instance, you don't really know a particular answer to a client query, you can always get in contact with Microsoft yourself, because typically if you're a managed service provider, you have a partnership with Microsoft already, so you need to really use that and implement that to get your customers the best customer service possible. As an MSP, you offer customized solutions, and so these are solutions tailored to the organization's specific needs. From what I understand, with the clients we've worked, everything is in a flux. Different industries, different business sizes. Every client, even though it's a business, right? Every client is different and unique in what they need. And so even public and private sector vary as well. So it's really good to kind of sit down with your client, talk about their business goals, and review their Microsoft 365 licenses, compare it to what they're currently using, etc., and really help them with the managed service of providing them the right communications tools if they need like a phone or something to attach to Teams, or ensuring that they're on the right licenses. Maybe they're paying for licenses and not even using some of the applications, so they could be downgraded, for instance. So cost savings is another thing that you can encourage your clients with. Now, at the same time, you can offer other value-added services that would boost whatever they're paying for anyways. But with our Smarter SaaS tool, we do offer different recommendations on how to provide cost savings to your clients. And from what I understand, MSPs do have the ability to negotiate pricing with Microsoft. So feel free to investigate that one a little bit further with your Microsoft partner agreement. My other piece of advice are to notify your clients a few months before their NCE contract expiration. So say, for instance, you already have a client, they're already on the NCE. It's best to keep tabs of the expiration date and notify them maybe 3 months in advance or so to let them know, hey, this is about to expire soon. We should really get this sorted to ensure there's no lapse. And then, of course, benchmark their current usage with our Smarter SaaS tool. So our current partners know what Smarter SaaS is, but if you're joining us and you're interested in partnership or just learning about what Smarter SaaS is, essentially it's just one of our cloud-based software asset management solutions that really helps optimize Microsoft 365 subscriptions. Basically, you can look at per user, you can backtrack the user's usage over the past 180 days, see what they're currently using, what they're not using, and ask the really tough questions. Okay, well, why are you paying for Zoom if you're also provided Microsoft Teams in the subscription? Or does training need to happen here? Did you let go of an employee and that license is currently being paid for but not allocated to somebody? There's a lot going on. And so with Smarter SaaS, it's fully automated and it automatically recommends how to reduce those IT costs while finding the best subscriptions for every user. Our installation process is really quick for this. It doesn't actually require anything like downloaded on your computer. Of course, I said it's cloud-based. Usually takes 10-15 minutes, not even. And you can benchmark the current usage and gain insights on how to make the best licensing renewal decisions moving forward. And of course, you would be able to consult with us and we can give you our recommendations, or you can simply look at the data on your own and come to your own conclusions. But we recommend definitely talking with us after reviewing your client data, and we can help generate some reports for you. So how can Smarter SaaS support your clients? I think I pretty much went over this already, but it's important to get details to make informed decisions. So if you don't have the data, how can you really sign a new contract moving forward? Say, for instance, you have a customer who isn't on an NCE and they're interested in learning more about how they can purchase licensing through you and etc. They really need to make informed decisions because they don't want to be overspending on something, right? So Smarter SaaS can help because it's fully automated and it gives a nice dashboard of data analysis of all the users under that business. And then what you can do is also help educate your clients on the pricing and licensing options. You can teach them how to get the most of their investment, whether that's training them or changing their license. And you can ensure the correct products for their business. Of course, cost savings. And then finally, security and compliance are really huge. I know security is booming. I think with Microsoft, I can't exactly remember the statistics, but there's a lot of security breaches with Microsoft. So things like SharePoint, because there's a lot of data sites available. What happens if somebody leaves the company and they still have access to these sites made by SharePoint and they're still accessing old company data, that it could be a problem. So with Smarter SaaS, we can help with your security and compliance as well. So at this time, I think I'm going to end the presentation here. I know it's just really brief, casual discussion on the new commerce experience. Unfortunately, I can't really sit down and go through the process of how to do that with Microsoft. That's something you can contact your through your Microsoft partnership. But let me just go ahead and see if I have any Q&A questions coming at the moment. Like I mentioned earlier, my laptop is going really slow today, so oh, I see something coming in. Sorry, my apologies. It seems to be best to let clients buy directly from Microsoft. Well, I mean, you're providing a managed service, so sorry, I need to try to figure out how to charge my laptop because it's dying at the moment. Okay. So with Microsoft, it's not necessarily best for them to buy directly through them, even though they can get certain features like tech support and things like that. When you're at MSP, you already have services available and products available. And so what you can do is bundle them in to the Microsoft license purchase. And so essentially what you can do is help them track and monitor. You'd be quite surprised at how many businesses aren't even aware of what licenses they're using, or how many businesses let employees go and keep the licensing alive, and that becomes a huge security issue. A lot of businesses are in non-compliance, which can cause legal fees down the road. So if they have a managed service provider, it ensures that all of these things are taken care of. So the cost of a managed service provider, factors in these value-added services as well as the Microsoft license. Okay, getting clients to buy direct from Microsoft rids of responsibility and lets MSPs get paid for sorting the mess they create or for licensing advice. Otherwise, MSP gets wrong end of the deal. I would say, as a managed service provider, this is something that our current partners either are working with Microsoft 365 already or just starting out and looking into. And I haven't really had any complaints about any MSPs feeling like they're getting the short end of the stick. If anything, with our tool Smarter SaaS, because it automates all of the usage tracking, it actually really makes the process quick and easy. If this was a manual process, I think it would be a little bit different. We just have a client gone bust. We are left with responsibility of paying $2,000 a month until August 23rd. See, I wasn't aware of that. And I guess that could be an issue with the contracts. So I am not obviously an expert on that particular situation, but perhaps there's something that could be negotiated whenever you're helping your clients sign NCE agreements that could avoid anything like this. Yeah, I'm so sorry that you're going through that though, but I'm not quite sure how to help you in that regard. I only really know the basics of the NCE agreement. I'm not part of the sales team. I'm a marketing person. So if you want to have a discussion with our sales team and kind of get a better understanding, I would advise maybe emailing us at info@businesssoftwarecenter.com so we can continue the discussion and get you the answers that you need. I'm not quite sure if you are currently a partner with TBSC, because this is these questions are being sent to me anonymously, but by all means, feel free to reach out to us and we can definitely help you with some of the situations that you might have. I see. So we just got another comment. I believe it's the same person saying that they ran the situation by a lawyer, and the Microsoft has done a good job covering themselves with MSPs unable to do that. Well, unfortunately, Microsoft is a really big company, and one of the main reasons why they started the NCE was not only to, I guess, help the customer and help with the purchasing through an online source, but to ensure that they were getting the money that they need through providing these licenses and services. So because they're such a large corporation, I can definitely see that they probably have a large legal team as well. I think I have other questions coming in. unless we have a client to pay up front, but that messes up the process. Yeah, I mean, that's difficult as well. I mean, I know for us, we definitely have a mixture of clients. We have the ones that pay month to month, and then we have the ones that pay on an annual basis. So maybe in order to kind of understand where you're currently at and to avoid these accidents in the future, it might be best to sit down with your management team and kind of construct different ways. But like I said, I'm not necessarily a salesperson, so if you want to get in touch with us, we can kind of help with strategy. info@businesssoftwarecenter.com. Our coffee talks are usually about 15 minutes long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I do apologize if I wasn't equipped enough to answer the questions coming in, but I do appreciate the feedback and the questions. Please do reach out, info@businesssoftwarecenter.com, if you need to learn more. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.